Good morning. This is Richard with another episode of Odin's Wisdom and Old Norse Paganism. Thanks for tuning in, just like always. Let's get the disclaimer out of the way. If you're under 18, video is not for you. Channel is not for you. If you turn 18 in a couple months, come back in a couple months. Otherwise, please find somewhere else to be. So today, going to be a little bit of a serious episode, and we may extend beyond 15 minutes. We're going to see how this plays out. A few days ago, one of our friends and brothers and sisters over on our Old Norse Paganism Discord, which you guys can find on our link tree, which really is showing everywhere, whether it's on Twitter profile, YouTube profile, or channel, TikTok profile. Anywhere we are, you guys should see a link for it. It gives all of our links. It's really just an index. But at any rate, on our Discord channel, you guys are all welcome to join us and be parts of conversations that take place there. That being said, though, a few days ago, one of our brothers is struggling with his own mortality. And it came up in conversation. And mortality is pretty serious. I mean, you can't escape it. At the end of the day, I mean, we're all going to face our makers. And we're all going to pay for our sins in one way or another. You're either a turd or you're not. Doesn't matter how you polish it, no matter what. And oftentimes in the Norse culture, I think bravery can sometimes be mistaken for understanding and just kind of knowing and accepting what it is that is coming. If you look back in the days when Viking warriors literally would be eager to go to battle and willing to die on the battlefields, it was because they had the knowing and the expectation of going to Valhalla and being carried off by Valkyries to go do so with Odin. And maybe it wasn't necessarily so much bravery as much as it was the idea that they're okay with moving on to the next chapter of their lives. For me, yes, maybe because of my time in the military, I've never really feared death per se. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want a lot of pain when it happens. I don't think any of us really enjoy pain. And that part of it we probably fear to a degree. As far as the death itself, I'm not really concerned about it. And I think I've, over the years, worked really hard at making sure that I don't fear death itself. Because I do look at it as I kind of have an expectation on what will occur for me after I leave this plane, this realm. And I am aware of the different realms of the afterlife. And I do believe I kind of know where I'm going to go. And I could be wrong, and it's probably a good possibility that I could end up in hell with hell herself and she'll torment me forever, but who knows? I like to think that I won't end up in hell, but that being said, for each one of us, it's different. And for each one of us, we all have various fears, various hurdles, if you will, that we have to overcome. No matter what you do, you're never going to escape the reality of death. It's inevitable. It doesn't matter what it is. Whether it's an animal, whether it's a human, whether it's a plant, a tree, a flower, at some way, shape, or point in time, it is going to inevitably move on. Even buildings, vehicles, you could buy a brand new vehicle in 1940. Today, there's pretty much none in existence. They died. Out with the old, in with the new. That's kind of, I guess, the circle of life, which, even the Disney movie, The Lion King kind of iterates on that a little bit, and I think, maybe that has a little bit to do with my thought on it, and knowing that you're not going to escape it, and just being able to accept that reality. And I think that's the big thing, is that you just have to be able to work on knowing that you're not going to be able to escape it. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Even Bill Gates is not going to escape death, even with all the money that man has. He might be able to clone himself. Might be able to replicate himself 100 times. Maybe someday figure out how to save his current consciousness into a computer chip, but ultimately he will die, and that's the end of that. There's no escaping it. And I think we all need to focus on trying to accept that reality. And I think once you accept that reality, it becomes a lot easier. And then the next step after you accept the reality of the fact that you're not going to live forever, and that it is just the way it is, it does begin to seem like, oh, well, he's brave, or she's brave, or they just don't care, or whatever the case happens to be. Excuse me. That the next step in that process would be making sure that you're right with yourself and with your makers to know what you can expect when that moment comes, to kind of help you ease into that transition. And I think they all go hand in hand. I don't believe that death is necessarily meant to be an ugly thing. Unfortunately, there are some ugly deaths out there that take place. But generally, I think those are dealt with or occur at the hands of another. Be it a brutal murder or a brutal suicide or whatever the case is. Yep, avid coffee drinker. Ooh, buddy. So, regardless of your religion, preferences, or choices, or beliefs, you have to have comfort and find solace in knowing what it is that you can expect in the afterlife. And finding solace and comfort in those, and knowing that no matter what, you're not going to cheat death. I think that the question of your mortality just kind of fades away. It's not one that I ever really even think about much anymore at this point on my own. My wife and I have discussed in great length what my expectations are when I do pass, and what I expect for her to have happen with my remains and things like that. And we've also discussed, should I get some sort of terminal illness, whether it's cancer, whether it's Alzheimer's disease, or some other ugly and horrible thing, how I wish to proceed to handle those things. And she's expressed to me her concerns and how she wants to deal with those things. And I think, again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that we have both accepted the fact that we're not going to live forever, damn it. And accepted the idea of the potential outcomes of where we can end up and where the next chapter of our lives will take us. And that no matter what, there's no escaping any of those next chapters. I mean, it's bound to be one of them, whether it's Helheim or Ran or Valhalla, which is highly unlikely given the way society is run today, but or even if it's over there with Freya at Freya's Hall, whatever the case happens to be. But I think that one of the things that you can do to start finding solace in that and being able to accept the fact that you're going to die at some point in time is talking about it with your significant other. It's not always an easy talk because, let's be real, it's kind of the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. And again, some of that will depend on your beliefs. If you're an atheist, as an example, you may not believe that there's anything after this world. It's just, it's out. For me, that'd be pretty hard to digest, I think. I think that if I thought there was nothing after this that was lights out, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still understand that there's one life, that's it, this is it, but nothing after that, I don't know. I think I would find it rather antagonistic. Will you put us here just to tease us? I mean, might be a little harder as an atheist, but find somebody to talk to about it. Don't be afraid to share your belief system with your significant other, or whoever it happens to be. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts and your religious beliefs on what does occur after death. Talk about those things with each other. Talk about what it is that you want to have happen to your remains after you leave this world, or in the event that you do get a terminal illness, or in the event that you're walking down the street and somebody beats you to an oblivion in a mugging to the point that you're a vegetable, or whatever the case happens to be, but it makes you a person that you are not today. my wife and I have a very clear understanding that if I am diagnosed with something, say, we'll go with Alzheimer's as an example, because there's been a few family members of mine on my side of the family that have Alzheimer's. They've been diagnosed with it. In fact, my uncle is stage 3, I think it is, and he's getting pretty bad. Doesn't even recognize his own wife he's been married to her for 30 years. Now to me, that's pretty jacked up. And for her, my uncle's wife, I can see every time in her eyes that he's like, well, who are you? It tears her up. And I don't know about any of the rest of you guys. I don't want to tear my wife up like that every time I say something that I don't remember. It's just not me. I love my wife too much to put her through that. So, we've discussed it. In the event that I ever begin to show symptoms of Alzheimer's, or in the event that I get to a certain point in my Alzheimer's to where I begin forgetting things, I have things lined out. I'll never make it to stage 3. Because that's not how I want to go out. And that's not how I want my wife to remember me. And I think it should be up to us. Just like I think that it's insane that we treat our animals better than we do ourselves. You know, we spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on our animals, getting them shots and immunizations, and and on unfortunate days where we have to spend money getting them euthanized because they got cancer, or because they got run over by a car, or whatever the case happened to be. We'll go to take them to the vet. The vet will give them a shot, put them to sleep, and ultimately it makes them die while they go to sleep. They don't feel a thing. But we make people stay awake and deal with it. How does that seem right? We treat animals with more respect and dignity than we do people. I don't get it. Whole nother subject. I'm not really going to go into any more detail on that whole front, but whatever. Anyway, guys, the whole point is you have to accept your own mortality. I mean, you're not going to escape it. That's the bottom line. You're not going to outrun it. You can try. You can't buy your way out of it. Bill Gates, sorry, dude. If you're watching, which I doubt, but if you are, you're not going to buy your way out of death. So you better just accept it, all of you. And feeling sad about it, I don't understand it, and it's not because I'm cold and heartless. I mean, my wife will tell you, I cry with the best of them. And I don't care if you guys think I'm a sissy. Whatever. Okay? I'm an emotional man. I don't have a problem with that. And I will cry with the best of them for assorted reasons. But you have to accept it. And once you accept it, you'll find that it's easier to talk about. You'll find that it'll be less often thought about. You'll find that you will find a sense of peace with the whole idea of passing on to the next chapter. And that's kind of how I look at it. It's like a storybook. So like, my time here is a chapter. My time in a previous life was another chapter. My time in the next world, life, chapter, whatever it is, it's a chapter. Okay? So, yeah. You'll find yourself at peace with it. You won't really worry about it too much. You know? And again, if you're finding yourself in a painful death, yeah, you're probably going to fear the pain a little bit. Hell, I can't say I won't fear pain. I've had pain. I've been shot with an AK-47 in my time in the service. I know what pain feels like. So, yeah. Like I said, guys, tough topic today. But I felt like it was important. And I felt like it was a good topic to talk about, because I don't think oftentimes it's talked about enough. I think generally speaking, it's avoided. I think that it's one of those topics where, even though it's inevitable, we tend to avoid it. I do apologize for we did run over a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found this video to be useful. You know, be sure to put your comments below. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you want to come into the Discord and talk to us about stuff, guys, Linktree. Hit the Linktree link on the YouTube channel, right there in the banner, on the home page of the YouTube channel. Hit it. Okay, it gives all of our links. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button up above. Be sure to hit that little bell down here so that you guys can get notifications every time I post a new video. Which, pretty much every day you're going to get dinged, because we're doing a daily Norse trivia. Okay? Sorry, guys. But I feel like it's important to do those for you guys. The only day you're not going to get dinged, I don't think, is going to be Sundays. It seems to be working out really well that way. And then we answer the question from Saturday on Mondays. So be sure to tune in for that. As always, we love you. May the gods bless you. Keep you safe. May you find peace in knowing and comfort in your own mortality.